the birthday girl, the queen of rap. You already know. I'm saying it, bitch. Yeah. I said it. Yeah.
What it do, what it is, y'all? It's your girl Black Pump, aka Soda Baby, aka Azuka. And you are now tuned in to Soda Talks TV. For the haters, aka the barbs, yeah, stop leaving y'all comments. Like, what y'all leaving y'all comments for? Leave it up. Say it with your chest. Because every time I come back and y'all want to run and hide just like y'all fave and delete y'all comments so you can't handle the heat. Because there's a lot that you can learn from people that don't like you. And I'm here for it until you get disrespectful and then you get blocked. Okay? Tread lightly. And today we're going to be talking about the Joe Budden podcast breakup. You know, it's so funny how people actually turn into their oppressors because Joe did what the industry did to him. He purposely wrote out a bad contract for his friends because I don't think he ever wanted to give them true ownership because he was trying to make it seem like he didn't know where he wanted his podcast to go. He was talking about I'll name this podcast later. 6 months later, Joe Budden podcast. He was always going to name it Joe Budden. You know, he always had this end goal. This was always Joe's plan. And unfortunately, Rory and Mal fell prey to it. They just wanted to have locker room talk with their friends, you know, and they were vulnerable to the fact that this was their friend and because of loyalty. And as the audience grew, the money grew, and their fame grew. 7 years later, you start questioning, like, why are we passing up Spotify deals? Why are we doing this? And Joe honestly just didn't keep it 100 with his friends.
I think Mal needs higher self-esteem to be able to function in a threesome.
Here we go.
I think Mal's pretty confident.
Well,
I don't even respond to Joe.
Smart.
Do you think that people with low self-esteem appear to be confident sometimes?
Yes, but I don't think that's the case in Mal.
I didn't say that about Mal.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
You actually did.
Well, no. I said Mal has low self-esteem and then threesome shit. And then you asked me a question.
I have low
and then
self-esteem and the threesome shit? What does that even mean?
I said you have low self-esteem, and then I made a little threesome comment. And then Park said whatever he said, and then I said, excluding Mal, I said, do you think that people,
I don't think anyone heard the excluding Mal.
I didn't say that, but I said, do you think that people, that excludes Mal, I'm
Yes.
thinking, do you think that people with low self-esteem can sometimes appear to have high self-esteem?
Some of the most confident ones.
That's all I was
yes.
asking. I'm not saying that Mal appears to be that way.
Yeah, but you can usually like see when it's a.
Because Joe's been doing this podcasting for a long time. He's been doing this since World Star Hip Hop, and everybody knows that your first deal is your worst deal. And it all comes down to who's putting in the most work other than their mouth. Because if I'm doing all the hard work and you're just coming up to show up, you know, take the percentage, and then when your contract is up, we can negotiate. Other than that, it is what it is. And that's why it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. Because he wasn't trying to show in the books. Like, what is you hiding? He even said that they were overpaid. So if it's that simple, what you hiding for? Show them the books and then fire them, because the energy would have been off after that. And it's like, you ain't getting none of the YouTube money because it's more than the Joe Budden podcast on there. It's old music videos, old content that was there before you came that you weren't a part of. And, you know, it's just a double-edged sword because Mal and Rory are co-founders of the Joe Budden podcast, because Rory was uploading the podcast on SoundCloud like around episode 7, and then a couple episodes later, like around 77, that's when Mal came on. And that was before the show actually started regenerating money. And for Joe to let people just build these false narratives about them and firing them on air like that, that was just wrong. And Rory even said in the beginning that he had got a deal, it was negotiating a deal with Elliott Wilson, and he brought it back to Joe, but Joe was offended that he would do business behind his back, only for Joe to turn around, go to Elliott Wilson, and negotiate the same deal, but on his terms. And, you know, they do have a percentage-based partnership where they're supposed to be getting a certain percentage in, and And that's why they wanted to see the books and the accounting, because they were making so much money and selling out. They were wondering why they were still making the same amount of money. That's where they found out that there was a $400,000 accounting mistake made by the firm that Joe hired. And this is why you got to be careful with lawyers and, firms, big money firms, because they're only looking out for the best interest of the company that's hiring you, not the workers. This is why a good name is worth more than gold, because it doesn't matter what you gave them. It doesn't matter what you gave anyone. If you gave them a place to stay, if you are resourceful, if you're beautiful, you're pretty, you're popular, you're powerful, you're smart, you're talented, and anything else that you could think of. No one cares about what you did for them. People only remember how you made them feel and nothing else. To be honest, I really like Joe Budden, but this is what he gets because of the reputation that he has. He's known for burning bridges. He's known for being a snake, a predator, and a thief.
And then she would see that song repeated by a bigger artist. And so these types of things happen all of the time. This is something that is very common in the industry, because when it comes to us, the people that are not big names and big brands behind us, and them, they're no better than us. Most of them at the top, to be honest, they don't even really have any talent and are not that entertaining. What they have, what they have is money, but it's a facial expressions you're giving me. It's the money they have behind them. It's the plastic surgery they whore themselves for. And it's the people that they sleep with. That's the big difference between us and them. Yeah. By the way, everybody ain't meant to be a podcaster. Some people are meant to twerk on IG. I'm just saying. No shots fired, no shade. But it's called See the Thing Is. And Charlotte, you actually came up with that concept first, correct?
Yes. So approximately 3.5 months ago, I started I like to call it a visual podcast, just because it was an Instagram live television series, right? Where it was called See the Thing Is, C, comma, the thing is, ... And the whole premise of the show is I would have guests come on, we'll talk about different topics, whatever they're passionate about, whatever makes them go see the thing is, and we'll just dive into the conversation. So I thought of that in the middle of quarantine, like I said, 3 months ago. And then a couple weeks ago, I don't know how long, the timeline is blurring up, I see that Joe Budden has released his new podcast network, and the first show that will be on his new podcast network will also be called C, comma, the thing is ... And it was very interesting. I'm not saying he sold the idea for me. Everything is allegedly, but I just found it quite interesting that when I debuted my cover art for my show, it was 3 Black women. And the whole premise of the show, like, once again, we just talk about whatever it is that's like what's happening, what we want to talk about. And his show also has 3 Black women, and roughly the same premise. Come on the show, we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about. And it's had the same exact name down to the punctuation. But you know,
I saw that too, right? I was like, it's not even like they tried to switch it up a little bit. It was just like, oh, literally like the same title for real. So you said you developed this series you said 3 months ago?
Yes. It was, the numbers are blurring in my mind, but yeah, 3 months ago.
You're fine, because I looked 11 weeks, so basically 3 months. You're good. So,
you know, and even with the Olivia's dope situation, it's like, whether her timing was calculated or not, kick that while he down and kick him good.
I forgot that kind of get him. Kick him.
And people that have helped you and people that have given you something, you definitely owe them to a certain degree, but you are not obligated. Because it's like, you got to be careful how you treat people when they're down bad. You know, this is why God blesses. Good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people, because the heart never lies. And it's just like, I don't care who you're related to. you don't have to go back and deal with it once you finally get yourself out of wherever you're at, because people forget that people grow up and realize things about themselves and what they used to be, and it just starts hitting them all at once, like, you know, because, and they start realizing that you didn't deserve that, and how toxic that was. And it's just like, sometimes it's best to, you could forgive whatever, and it's just best to never ever mess with them ever again, because it's like, you might have a regression about some and you in front of them and you just pop their ass. It's just like, oh shoot, I was having a flashback, because it gets that deep, you know, it gets that deep. And sometimes you're just gonna sit back when you're in the need of someone else and they're just talking, they talk or whatever, because it's like, you get to see how far they take it. You get to see how nasty they take it. And when you grow up, you see them for who they are, and they see you, and they know how they treated you. And it's just like, the mind is always recording everything, because once you let them go, all that subconscious stuff comes up, and it's like, wow, this person is really shady. They never really liked you like that. And just because you're generous does not mean you're a good person. That does not mean you treat people well. And people know how much you love them. People know how much you appreciate them, especially when they're in like in a higher level than you. So they dangle things in front of your face just to see like what they could get, like a puppet. And they take advantage of it because they know how much you love them, and they know that you're blind, and you'll go to war for them. But when it's time to go to war for you, it doesn't matter, because you're the charity case friend and you're not one of them. Facts. And in a minute, you rapping is gonna be the next Joe Budden, because I'm 100% on Olivia Dope side. Over here thinking that they got a thick accent with a hard ass beat, and they think they can rap, and that's not the case. And loving to use music as a way to get into your business. Like, send me the beat. Stop trying to figure out, mind your business. Rap love to use music as a way to, oh yeah, let's get on FaceTime. Oh yeah, let's smoke. Can I come over and FaceTime? No, you can't come over, because they ain't got no game. So tread lightly, because your reputation, because the more you do it, people pick up on it, and it's gonna be a Me Too situation. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. And that's why you gotta be careful of what you say and do, because things are not gonna stay forever. Things are not gonna stay the same way forever. And we're gonna get into Law 5 from 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And Law 5 states, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. And let's not forget how he takes advantage of puppies. You know, his doggy, little Brooklyn.
He'll take his nasty hard hands with the dirt under his fingernails and jerk your puppy.
And if you plan on coming up in the industry, please delete your Twitter before you come up, because people are going to pull your stuff up from the past. And honestly, Rory and Mal do not have it together. And I can't listen to Joe by himself. He's still interesting, but there's something about him that's so boring alone. But Mal, with your Ruben Studding, don't talk about no black community till you come out and say what you got to say and say your apologies to the black woman, because we heard what you said.
But anyways, if they dark skinned, I'm throwing a toaster in there. Black women take better care of their hair than they do their kids. Salute. Black chicks put their daughter's hair in a tight ponytail until their eyes get chinky. Then tell people her father is mixed. Only people eating breakfast from Taco Bell are convicted felons and dark-skinned. Dark-skinned women should not be allowed to wear blonde hair. They look like half-eaten Snicker bars. Salute. Still from Mal. Spanish girls don't get comfortable with that #1 spot. White girls are threatening your position, and Asians are coming on strong. You're dark-skinned, but you're wearing eyeshadow. Hashtag porque. All right, so these tweets are from ICE, which is...
Don't be mad because Joe Budden emasculated you in front of everybody with Joe. And you can't even dress like that. Like, because in a minute, the industry is going to be a thing of the past. There's so many lame people getting on. It's like, eventually no one's going to care. Like, it's a new system. You know, the industry is falling down. Peace by peace. So I hope y'all know what y'all gonna do, you know. I hope you're entertaining enough to last. Lap doggy. Cause if Chris Brown gonna get ridiculed, Nicki Minaj gonna get ridiculed, and y'all gonna get ridiculed too. Like, talking about he related to Jay-Z. You ain't related to Jay-Z. You're not even cool like that. You're a wannabe. You're a dork. You was never cool. You was fat and you just could dress kinda. And then you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and you the quiet one in the group, and don't nobody really mess with you. You're not fun. You're not charismatic. Bye. You're lame.
He'll take his nasty hard hands with the dirt under his fingernails and jerk your